Howdy everybody. In this video I'm going to be showing off some custom Reaper scripts that can be used to speed up your audio editing workflow like crazy. So getting right into it, this is the command, this is the end goal here, and in 1 to 2 clicks, depending on how you want to set it up, you can have a long clip like this, all sliced up with all the silence cut out and each individual sound effect brought to the beginning of your timeline. So that's the main goal of this video. And let me show you the parts that go and make that up. So I have 2 main scripts and then an edited third one here. So I will have these scripts posted. I think I'll do it on GitHub, so I'll have a link to that in the description, each individual one. So the idea with this script is it is going to take your spread out items across your timeline and bring them all together with a fixed spacing of 0.1 seconds in between them. And if you don't like the option of a fixed spacing, I do also have a command set up for custom spacing. So you could type in whatever you want. We could have 1 second there in between them. So to take that a step further, and where these really become usable, is creating custom actions with those. So this is the main one that I would be using, and I have it to option Q. But we look at the action here. So you go to the start of your project, you move the position of your items to the edit cursor, and then you put in that specific script. So if we run that one, it'll bring it to the beginning and do everything we mentioned before. And same idea with the other one. It is the exact same order and makeup, but it's just using that one that gives you a custom value. And then you can type in whatever you want. Now it's set up in the way I want it now, but that's because I changed it. Every time you open a new project, it's going to default to being set up like this. So it's going to be item start and then set to 1 second. So that positions them in a way that isn't really usable for us. So I'm going to go ahead and undo that. And what you have to do is you have to select item end and then whatever value you want. I usually like 0.1, so it just takes, you know, three clicks and then you have to click OK. So that's just quite a bit, and I was trying to minimize that. I set up a shortcut here, or a custom action for dynamic split and repositioning to the start. So I did make a third script because it was a little bit wonky. It wasn't working right, so I just made a slightly altered script to work with this better, because it was doing some weird things that I don't understand why. I did make these scripts with Claude AI. I just beat Claude's head in for about 3 hours and got them to work. So I didn't fully understand everything that was going on, but I did make a version of the script that ended up working. So the idea here is dynamic split items using your most recent settings. Now that saves you another button click there, because you're most likely just going to keep using the same settings on dynamic split. At least I do for the type of sound effects I make. So every time I load it, if I do dynamic split manually here, these are the settings that I use pretty much every time. So if we go back to that shortcut, it'll use those settings and then exactly the same as the other ones. So let me show you that here, what that looks like in action. Now I did make this one be able to have a custom input, so it does take an extra button click, but that's fine. I wanted the flexibility with this main command. So for this one I made it the custom input because I don't want to be locked into 0.1 second every single time. So as you can see, I can just make it whatever. This one I kind of intended to be my main workhorse command, so I wanted the flexibility, and I don't mind the extra hitting enter input. It's not too bad. And one last point I forgot to mention, actually showing you how to get the script into Reaper. So you're going to go to your actions list here, new action, new script, and then I would personally create a folder, I'm just going to call it test, and then name the thing whatever you can remember. I'm going to call it test, and then you would paste the what I'm going to have in the description. You're going to paste it here, and then I'm just going to write something, and then hit save, and then there it is. And then you would load that into your own custom actions like I showed you earlier. All right, thank you so much for watching, and I hope this speeds up your workflow. Goodbye.